Sorry. Okay. Yeah. So we welcome every one of us to our Fiqh session, to the bi-monthly episode of our Fiqh session, where we discuss issues related to Fiqh. So we are using a book we called Tas'ilul Fiqh fi Din, Tas'ilul Fiqh fi Din. Fiqh is easy for beginners. So we've done a session before. So we started with the Al-Faslul Awwal, the first lesson. And what we actually focused on in the last session was issues that has to deal with the foundations, like Arkanul Islam, the foundation of Islam, Arkanul Iman, the foundation of Iman. And we treated the Arkanul Iman majorly, the Al-Iman billahi wa malaikatihi wa kutubihi wa rusulihi wal yawmil akhir wal qadari khayrihi wa sharrihi. Just as the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said in the hadith, not in only one hadith, in a hadith that were related from him. So we also made us know that this session, this foundation, that is this Arkanul Iman, and the Tawheed at the foundation upon which every other that we will later be discussing are built. So if this foundation should spoil, if it's your half issue, every other thing is going to have an issue. And there are verses and also hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam pointing to this. And one of the ones we emphasized on was the hadith where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam sent Mu'adh bin Jabal radiallahu anhu to Yemen. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, just as it was reported in the hadith, Lamma ba'asa Mu'adh bin Jabal ila Yemen, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Al-awwal ma yakunu tad'uhum ilayhi. The first thing you should call them to is Ma'rifatullah. They should know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is, they should worship Allah. They should know that it's only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we have to worship. Then فَإِذَا عَرَفُوا اللَّهَ, then Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam now said something. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said something with a condition. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, فَإِذَا عَرَفُوا اللَّهَ, then after you have confirmed that they understand what is Tawheed, they understand that they are not to worship anything with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When they have gotten this clearly, then you can now, the Prophet now said, فَأَخْبِرُهُمْ أَنَّ اللَّهَ تَعَالَى فَرَّضَ عَلَيْهِمْ خَمْسَ صَلَوَاتٍ فِي يَوْمٍ وَلَيْلَةٍ. Then that's when you should be teaching them about Salah, that you have to pray Salah too, you have to pray 5 daily prayer, you have to do this, after that you have to do this, after that. But if they don't know the first thing, that is, if their Tawheed is not strong, if it is not how it is supposed to be, then every other thing are what they are just they don't have essence. So Tawheed is the bab, it is the door to the religion. So if once you get Tawheed right, then you can now start having some kind of tumanina that is saying, like, you can now start having. So I hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept my other part of Ibadah. But whoever should do shirk with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, just as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he even want the Prophet, like in Ashraqta, even you, the Prophet that they sent to go and give them message, if you should mistakenly do shirk, if you should mistakenly commit something that's going to negate your tawhid, almost every other thing is going to get spoiled. So that is what we focused on in the last session. So without wasting much of our time again, we are going to proceed. So we are going to proceed to the first Salis. So in the last session, we're using a kind of slide where we have broken all this down and with the translation to make it easy for us. But inshallah ta'ala, so as Allah's destiny, we won't be able to use that slide today. But we are going to, inshallah, we're going to work towards creating the slide and making it available in our next class, inshallah, if there's time. But for now, we are going to stick to only the text, the book. So first is the third chapter. So after we have moved from Tawheed, we are now the next thing after Tawheed, as it is stated in the Arkan al-Islam, is Salah. But before we can move into Salah, Salah has shurut, Salah has wajibat, Salah has arkan. So they want to take it from the shurut of Salah. So one of the key shurut of Salah, one of the things that makes Salah to be accepted is once you have already passed through this stage Adabu Qada'i al-Haja. So this is why in most of the bab of fiqh, most of the chapter, most of the books written in fiqh, you see the first bab, the first chapter that is going to be there is going to what is related to Adabu Qada'i al-Haja. So and the etiquette of relieving oneself. So if you look at the book of Hadith, so just like Umdatul Hakam, you see the first chapter after Innamal A'malu Binniyat, you see the next thing is what the Prophet Allah, the Prophet Allah, one of the recommended things is that فقال بسم الله إني أعوذ بك من الخبث والخبائث, and like that and like that. So in most of the books of fiqh, before they get into salah, they are going to treat some of the shurut of salah that we are supposed to understand, right? So one of the shurut of salah is this, is where Adabu Qada'i al-Haja falls under, that is the etiquette of relieving one's self. So the author said, Yustahabbu liman arada dukula al-qala. The one of the recommended things for the one that want to enter into al-qala means like a space, or let's say space in a bush or something related to that. But in our modern sense, to understand it better, we will just put it as toilet. Though it is not really toilet in reality, but you also understand that what they are trying to say now is that whenever you want to enter the toilet, so but kola doesn't mean toilet in reality. So yustahabbu liman arada dukul al-khala. Sorry, I have to, this thing is okay. So it is recommended for the one that want to enter the toilet to say Bismillahi Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-khubusi wal khaba'is. So Bismillahi, in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allahumma, oh Allah, inni a'udhu bika, I am seeking refuge from you, from from the evil of minal al-khubusi wal khaba'is. Khubusi are the male jinns that are residing in the toilet or in a space that is mostly used to relieve, where people mostly used to relieve themselves. So Khubusi is the male and Khaba'is is the female jinn that are in that place. So the askar that is recommended whenever you want to enter into the toilet or whenever you want to go and relieve yourself, probably in this large space in the bush also, is to say Bismillahi Allahumma inni a'udhu bika من الخبث والخبائث من الخبث والخبائث ويقول بعد الخروج. Then after relieving yourself, when you want to step out, what you are supposed to say is غفرانك. So بعد يعني ويقول بعد الخروج, meaning after you stepped out, you say what? غفرانك. So when you want to enter, you say بسم الله اللهم إني أعوذ بك من الخبث والخبائث. But when you want to step out, you say what? غفرانك. Then he said ويقدم رجله اليسرى عند الدخول. Then when you want to enter the toilet, when you want to enter where you want to go and relieve yourself, you qaddimu rijlahu al-yusra. You are going to first put in your left leg. That is when you are in the dukhul, when you want to enter. While yumna in the khuruj. But when you want to leave, you come out first with your right leg. Whenever you want to enter where you want to relieve yourself, you have to enter with the left leg. Then when you are leaving, you have to leave with the right leg. In contrast to entering the house or entering the mosque, when you want to enter places of that have it's around that has value, you enter with your right and come out with your left. But when you want to enter places like toilet, you enter with your left and you come out with your right. وَيَحْرُمُ اسْتِقْبَالُ الْقِبْلَةِ. Those things that we have mentioned falls under mustahab, recommended things. They are not obligatory, but they are recommended. They have big rewards. But now they want to go into things that are prohibited. When they say haram, it is prohibited to do it. Istiqbalul qibla wa istidbaruha, facing towards the qibla. Whenever you are actually in a kola, I said in the beginning that kola doesn't necessarily mean toilet, especially in those times. It means a place where, like a space, like probably a bush or so, where people go and relieve themselves. So wa yahrum istiqbalul qibla. So when you are in that space, in an open space, it is haram to face the qibla or istidbaruha, or turn your back towards the qibla. So fasharribuha aw garribuha, as it is in the hadith. So you either face the qibla sideways. You don't face and you don't turn your back towards the qibla. So the Prophet said fasharribuha aw garribuha. Either you turn your side towards where the qibla is pointing to. So, and now I said Kola, why I was laying emphasis on Kola now is that there is actually other reports that made it known that, but if you are in a place that is covered, like a toilet in reality, like a toilet in modern times. This doesn't really mean anything. Facing or backing the Qibla when you're in a covered place, it doesn't mean anything. But when you're in a collar, like in reality, the meaning of collar is where it's free, where it's free, that like probably just enter into a bush. So it is prohibited to face the Qibla or back it. But when you're in the toilet, also it is not prohibited as some scholars have said. But let's just stay but just as I said at the beginning, this book is like a beginner book, so we are going to try our best to avoid diving into difference of opinion or whatever. So we are just going to stick into what the author of the text stick into. So now then he said, "Watakol lifitori nas." So still continuing from wayahrum, and it is prohibited. So one of the things that is all prohibited is takol lifitori nas, relieving yourself in toriq nas, in where you know people do pass very well. You see some people, you can be going on the road, you just see they've defecated there or they have urinated there. It is haram in our religion to defecate or urinate in where you know people pass through. So it said, so it is still continuing from the statement that said, وَيَحْرُمُ استقبال القبلة واستدبارها وتقلي في طريق الناس. That is وَيَحْرُمُ تقلي في طريق الناس وَزِلِّهِمْ, or in a place that you know people sit down as shade. People are probably under a tree. That you know people use that tree as shade. You know people just surround there, talk and discuss also. Then you go there and urinate or defecate. This is haram. Haram. So وَفِي الْمَاءِ الرَّاكِدِ, and also in a water that is not moving, a water that you know if you release there or if you relieve yourself there, the thing is not going to move away from that place. And this is actually like mostly related to people that are living probably in villages or probably near some like new sites or so. So, but people that are living in cities, it is actually even not hard to, like, it doesn't make sense to go and urinate in river or so. So this is actually, it is probably written based on the time or environment of the author. So, and then it is prohibited also to relieve yourself in water that is not moving. And also and also under a tree that is still releasing fruit. You know, people who are still coming to this tree to come and pluck fruit, to come and pluck whatever they need from the tree. Then relieving yourself in that kind of setting is also what haram. Or you go into graveyard in the night, then you urinate or defecate in the middle of graveyard. So this is also what haram. So those that we have mentioned are haram, meaning prohibited. When we say something is haram, it means it is prohibited, that you must not do it. Or when we say something is makruh, also it doesn't mean you can do it. Well, it means the prohibition is not as high as the prohibition of haram. Let's put it there, but it is not, doesn't really mean when I say something is makruh, you can just go ahead and do how you like with it. No. So then he continued, he said, "Wa yukrahu," that is makruh al-bawlu fil hammami wal juhur. Urinating in hammam is bathroom. When people bath is bathroom. So urinating in where you know people come there to bath, not actually to urinate. It is makruh to do that kind of thing. While juhur, the meaning of juhur is like a hole. Like you just see a hole somewhere, then you urinate there and leave it like that. So that is also makruh. وَلَا يُمْسِكَنَّ ذَكَرَهُ بِيَمِينِهِ. So one of the things that is also disliked to do is holding your manhood with the yaminihi, with the right hand, or وَلَا يَتَمَسَّهُ بِهَا, in the course of the action or after the action. So it is probably you have to use left hand, not right hand, as it is in the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. فَإِذَا قَضَى حَاجَتَهُ اسْتَجْمَرَ بِحَجَرٍ. So after you are done relieving yourself, then how do we clean up? So there are two ways: istijmar or istinja. So istijmar is the use of stone. Oh, should I say, okay, istijmar is let's put it as istijmar is the use of other things aside water, but mainly it is mostly used as use of stone. You can say bihajarin, aw min dilin, or handkerchief, aw nahwihima, or something similar to them, like toilet roll or things like that. But the one that is best is to do what? Istija. Thumma istija bimahin tahu. So the reason why they said thumma istija bimahin tahu is that one of the opinions with the scholars is that if you have the chance to do istijmar and istinja together, First do the istijmar, that is use stone or whatever is present. Then you now do the istijad and then use water as addition. But when there is water, what is best is just use water. So, and when there is no water, then use the availability, whatever is available, probably stone, handkerchief, toilet roll to clean up. So, I usually al-iktisaru ala al-ma, you can use only water, as I have said now. أو على ثلاثة أحجار نحوها. But if you want to use stone or handkerchief, or you are going to use that one thrice, 3 times. إذا كانت طاهرة. So the stone or handkerchief or whatever you want to use also have what it also has a condition that it must meet. One of the conditions is that طاهرة, it must be clean. Munkiyatan, as you can see here. طاهرة يابسة munkiyatan. So طاهرة, it must be clean. I think yabisan, it must also be it must not be wet. It must be dry. Munkiyatan, it must be able to actually remove the whatever you want to do, whatever you want to remove. Like it must be functional. So it is not just like a figure. It must actually do whatever you want to do. فَإِنْ لَمْ تُمْكِ وَجَبَ الزِّيَادَةُ. So what if you want to use any of this, you must you must use it thrice. You must do it 3 times. 1, 2, 3 for the clean. That is if you are not using water. If you are using stone or whatever is related to stone. Then فَإِنْ لَمْ تُمْكِ, if what you now use doesn't do the thing you want it to do, وَجَبَ الزِّيَادَةُ, it is obligatory you do it extra time, but the minimum you must use is to clean up is thrice. Then if it doesn't work after thrice, you must whatever ziyada you must do, and you must continue. So sorry, please, a minute, I want to delete something. Okay, so sorry for the break. So while I just will istijmaru bil azmi, so you must also be careful. Like for instance, if you go into the bush, and probably most time when people do istijmar is when they go into the bush and they don't have access to water. So while I use will istijmaru bil azmi, so when you are now in the bush also, you must make sure that what you are using to do istijmar is actually stone or whatever it is, whatever is accepted for it. Not you may pick up something and it's actually bone of animals, or dungs of animals. So probably it has gotten out there, you think it is stone. So you must make sure that what you are using is actually what you are supposed to use. And also it is not permissible to use whatever has respect, whatever deserves respect, like probably book or mushaf or whatever paper, probably paper they have written Quran on, or they have written Arabic on, or things like that. So you must make sure that that's not what you are using to do istijma. Or hima. So you can it is permissible to urinate while standing, as opposed to what some people actually say. So it is permissible. But squatting is what is best, but it is permissible to do it while standing. So that is under what is under Abu Qadar al is very wide, it's very comprehensive. But as I've said, this book is for like it's made Fiqh made easy. That's the name of the book. It is to like make Fiqh easy for the beginners, or probably those that have not even studied Fiqh before or whatever. So that's why we chose this book, and that's why everything is coming in summary. So that is that for that. So you can see we are not even probably mentioning evidence of this. We just do it once in a while. So because of that's how Fiqh is for. Like in the beginning, you don't start saying, "Oh, the evidence of this is this," but some scholars said this. Some scholars said you have to try to avoid that in the beginning of studying Fiqh. So it is when you have now like finished probably one matnu, another matnu, or another matnu, that you can start going into the broad part of Fiqh. So I think the next thing now is Al-Fasl al-Rabi'. So at-tahara, at-tahara in English we can say cleanliness also, but it is wider than cleanliness in fiqh aspect. So at-tahara to now, tahara is of two types, as this as the author has said, tahara to bil wuduhi wal ghusl. He said there tahara to bil wuduhi wal ghusl, doing tahara with wudu or ghusl, wa tahara to be tayammum, and tahara to through tayammum. So wudu is ablution, ghusl is ritual bath, wa tahara to be tayammum, and there's also tahara using uh, sand in absence of this first two. So this tahara to be tayammum is like whenever these first two are not they are not available. So al first will come is sifatul wudu. Then you want to start from tahara to be the wudu, sifatul wudu. So okay, so let's just rush through this sifatul wudu and we call it a day till the next month. So sifatul wudu, how do we even do wudu? Wudu has shurut. Wudu has what you must do. It has any that is the wajibat. It also has the sunan that like the extras also. But this one, the sifatul wudu, is just like it just want to give us how we have to do wudu, combining everything together, both the wajibat, both the sunan, and combining it together. So he said sifatul wudu. Firstly, one of the how to do ablution in summary, combining the wajibat, what is obligatory, what is sunnah, and how to do wudu summary. So firstly, as siwak, using siwak. We all know what is siwak, paku, or I've forgotten what they call it in English. So as siwak, using siwak, that's one of the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If you read one of the hadiths, said Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam use siwak before wudu. So before doing wudu, one of the sunnah is to first use siwak. So after that, then wakawlu bismillah. Then you start by saying bismillah. Wa ghuslu al-kaffayni thalatha marrat. Then you wash your hand, ghuslu al-kaffayni thalatha marrat, 3 times. Remember I said this is like combination of both sunan and wajibat. Like we are not segregating this one is sunnah, so like sifatul wudu, the way the Prophet ﷺ did it. This is it in full. So wakawlu bismillah, then you say bismillah. After that, waghuslu al-kaffayni thalatha marrat. Then you wash your hand. This is kafayn, kafu. This is kafu. So waghuslu al-kaffayni thalatha marrat. Then you wash your hand thrice. Wal madmadu wal istinshaq. After washing your hand thrice, the next thing is wal madmadu. The meaning of madmadu is to put water in your mouth. Then you use your mouth. You don't need to put your hand to do anything. You just put water in your mouth. Then you use your mouth to like shake it around, then pour it outside. That's what they call madmadu. When you wear madmadu too, that's the meaning of madmadu. So you do that while instinshaq, while instinthar. The meaning of instinshaq while instinthar is to put the water in the nose, breathe it in. That is instinshaq. While instinthar is to what? Breathe the water out back. So while madmadu while istinshaq while istinthar, you see he wrote it near each other because one of the sunnah is that you should do the water, the same water you use for madmadu is also what you should use for istinshaq while istinthar, for the nose also. That's why it is written together. While madmadu while istinshaq while istinthar, you are going to do everything together. The same water in your mouth and also in your nose, breathe in, breathe out. So firstly, when you start breathing in, firstly it may like be hard, but with time you are going to be able to get to it. So you breathe in the water in while it's the and you breathe it out back. Thalatha marrat, you do this 3 times. Then you wash your face from the beginning of your hair here till this place, with all your beards, if you have beards, and see where the hair start from. That is what is considered as well. Thalatha marrat, 3 times also. So you wash your face 3 times. Then washing al-yadaini, your hand. Washing your hand till you get to this place. So one of the mistakes people make here, many people, is that they think the one that we did in the beginning, the washing hand that we did 3 times in the beginning, is enough, and it is not actually enough. It is because the one we did in the beginning, when we started getting into the tafsir, like the tafsir, doing this one is sunnah, this one is wudu. The one we did in the beginning, the aspect of it is that it is sunnah. Yeah, there are times it is going to become wajib, but the aspect of the washing hand at the beginning is that what it is sunnah. So, and the one that you are going to wash after with this place, the one you are going to wash here is actually a pillar. Let me even say a pillar. That is, if you don't do it, you don't have an ablution. So the washing of hand after you have washed your face, it is to start from here, not from the wrist. It is to start from here till your elbow. As I said, you have to wash from here. This you have to wash from here, not from here. Many people wash from here, and it's very wrong. So you have to wash from here till your elbow. You have to wash from here till your elbow. وغسل اليدين مع المرفقين ثلاث مرات. You have to do that three times for the left too. والبداءة باليمنى. You have to start from the right before doing for the left. Then he said ومسح جميع رأسه بيده. Then you have to wash جميع رأسه. You have to جميع الرأس sorry بيديه. You have to wash your hair with your two hands, not only one hand. You have to بيديه to wash your hair with your two hands from the front to the back, then back to the front. From the front, just as is in that is, you are going to watch from the beginning till the ending, then you bring it back to the, you bring your hand back to the front, then you have washed your head. يبدأ بمقدم رأسه ثم يذهب بهما إلى فقه. So be like of our sorry. What I just said now, you have to start from you have to start from the beginning of the head to the back, then back to the front. ثم يردهما إلى المكان الذي بدأ منه. Sorry. يبدأ بمقدم رأسه ثم يبدأ بمقدم رأسه. Start from the front of the head. ثم يذهب بهما إلى قفاه. Then take it to the back. ثم يردهما إلى المكان الذي بدأ منه. Then you have to return it back to the front. So that's how to wash the head while doing ablution. From the front to the back with your two hands. So from the front to the back, then back to the front. Then you also use that one. You also use the same water to wash your ear. To the inner of the ear, you have to wash it with this hand. The inner of the ear, you have to, this is what they call sabaha. This inner, you have to watch it that ibham. This is what they call ibham. This tongue, the tongue is what they call ibham, but the finger that follows the tongue is what they call sabaha. So you have to wash the inner of your ear with this one and the outer with the ibham. Then so you wash your ear after the head. After doing, go to the back, come to the front. Then you put your hand in your ear. Then you wash the outer part of the ear. They said, you have to wash the inner with this. Then and the outer you have to wash it with this. Just once. Then you have to wash the leg. You have to wash the whole of the leg up to your what did they call this? What did they call Kaaba in I've forgotten. So you have to wash the whole of the leg to this big sorry, I forgot the English of this. Ankle, yeah. Ankle. Yeah, thank you, sir. So you have to wash the leg up to the ankle. So, and it's very, very important. The Prophet ﷺ, there is an hadith where the Prophet ﷺ saw someone doing ablution and he did not wash the ankle very well. The Prophet ﷺ, so you have to wash the leg up to the ankle very well. Make sure water gets to everywhere. You have to put your hand inside each of your fingers, each of your toe. So you have to put the hand into each of your toe. So three times. While have to be you have to start with your right leg also. So after that, the wudu has finished. So that is sifatul wudu. That is wudu in the best form. So there are some things that you may miss in these things that we have mentioned that don't spoil the wudu. And there are some things that if you miss, sorry, it spoils the wudu. So that's why the importance of knowing the tafsir between what is shurut, what is this, what is that. You can see the next thing is shurutul wudu. So we are still going to get into that in the next program, inshallah ta'ala. So I think this is where we are going to end it for today. So summary of what we've discussed, we said the essence and also the etiquette of using alcohol, the toilet. I remember I said kola means it doesn't mean toilet in reality, but toilet falls under it. So al-Khala, etiquette of using it. I mentioned the etiquette to us. Then we now going to Tahara, cleanliness. That is in clear. Okay, we go into Tahara, cleanliness. Then we know that Tahara is of two types, just as the author have said. When they say Tahara is of two types, in reality, it may not be this kind of splitting the way the author splitted it. So that's why I said the way, that's why I'm emphasizing on the way the author has said. Said Tahara to be the wudu, Tahara with wudu, and Tahara to be the ghusl. Then Tahara to be tayammum. So and we have mentioned how to do ablution perfectly. So inshallah ta'ala, we're going to continue from Shurutul Wudu in the next program. I think that's going to be next Friday. So now, after the next Friday, they'll be upper on inshallah ta'ala. So in case there is anyone has question, you can ask before we call it a day. So
Naam, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa barakatuh.
Naam, my question is on when you're urinating and you do istinja and you clean up with water and say when you're done and you've done everything and you're still feeling like sort of like a backdrop of probably maybe urine or water and you're not sure, are you to wash yourself again with water, or you don't have to do anything? And
now, that question, the exact question was asked one of our top scholars, Hafizahullah wa Ra'ah, Sheikh, I think Sheikh Shuwairi, Hafizahullah Ta'ala, was asked that question, and what he replied as was what I also used to reply. He said, what you are going to do is that whenever because that kind of thing probably it occurs many times and it's causing kind of problem for the person. So not medical problem, or I think like whispering problem. So it is actually, so the way, okay. So what is to do is to, like, whenever you urinate, the Sheikh said, you should also, like, when you are cleaning up, you should also put water in your cloth, like the cloth side of where you urinate from. So we have to, like, spray water there. So whenever the whispering of shaitan comes that, oh, you have to just ignore it and assume that it is the water that is there that's still there. So that is for someone that's cleaned up well. So in like the way he's supposed to clean up and it's sure that he has cleaned up, then something he starts getting into, like, oh, did I just urinate again, or did the drop just come out or did not come out? It just come out or did not come out. What you have to do is that when you urinate, you spray the point also with water, like the cloth point of where you urinate from with water also. So whenever you get the waswas, probably when you're already praying and you're like, did I just urinate now? All you have to do now is what? You have to continue your salat and ignore the whispering. Except you are very sure that, oh, I truly drop came out truly. But if it is between you are still, it is like you are still whispering, it's just a whisper that, oh, did I just urinate or I did not just urinate? Then you're like, did the drop just come out or it did not come out? Did it come out or it did not come out? You are just to assume that it did not come out. There is a call either the principle they said, I'll ask for Makana and you are going to put so what you are sure of is that I have urinated and I have cleaned up. So you can that is the yakin, that's what you're sure of. So when the shark starts coming in, when she don't start whispering that, oh, you just urinated now, just urinated. So what you are just to do is that you are just ignoring, you are going to ignore that whispering and continue your salat and assume that I am still pure, nothing came out, until you are very, very 100% sure that, oh, something came out. If you are still within, oh, did I just because many people face that problem actually, for the person also to even get to shake where is. So many people. So if you are still within the doubts that did something come out or did not come out, you are just to do what you are supposed to do. After you have urinated, spray water there, then whenever you are doubting that did something come out, just assume that nothing came out. That is the yakin, that is what you are sure of. So shak and yakin will assume shak. The meaning is that what you are sure of cannot be erased by what you are not sure of. So what you are sure of is that you have cleared up and you have done ablution and you are continuing your prayer. So I think that is how I can just put that. So I hope that is clear.
Jazakallah khairan.
Yeah.
Just an additional question. What if you're now certain that you actually like urine came out? Can you still pray with the same clothes, knowing that urine has touched the clothes you're wearing? Would it be
Yeah,
like
yeah, just to clean it up with water. It is not something large, just something small, just to clean it up with water.
okay? Thank you.
Yeah.
Jazakallah khairan.
وإياكم. So in case if there is no any other question, so I think we are going to round it off. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept it from us as an act of ibadah. We ask him, نسأل الله تعالى أن يفقهنا في الدين. نسأل الله تعالى أن يتقبل كل أعمالنا. نسأل الله تعالى أن يبارك في علمنا وفي اجتهادنا. وبهذا نكتفي بهذا القدر وسبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. بارك الله فيكم وجزاكم الله خيرا. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.